Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and today we're going to be reviewing the new bent metal Anvil. I rode these bindings at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day with warmer temps. You had soft, creamy groomers at the top of the mountain, slush at the bottom, chopped chunder, a little bit of ice in the shade, and I rode it on my Ride Shadow Band snowboard with my K2 Thraxis boots. So with this binding, you have twist tabs on the toe and the heel. So pop it open, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, pop it out, and then you can lengthen or shorten them. The toe strap is also on a push pin system, so you push it down, pull it back up after you slide it forward or backwards. That will help dial it in. With the Highback, you can actually rotate it so it's parallel to the heel edge. You have 3 placements for that. And then you also have the forward lean block, which is one of the easiest adjustments for forward lean. You just twist it to whatever setting you want, and that's your forward lean. The final piece of adjustability is the drive plate or the foot pad. You can replace that with any of the other ones that bent metal offers. So if you don't like one, you want something a little more rigid or you want something a little more damp, swap it out. These are very soft straps. There is a ton of play in them. They're also molded straps, which means no excess padding. All the padding is gonna come from your boot. You do have a nice cutout for the instep of the heel strap, and it is a little bit wider on the outside towards the ratchets than it is on the inside. This will help with giving it a little more lateral drive when you push into it. The toe strap has a very minimal cutout to it. This is actually gonna fit better on a pointy-toed boot versus something that's more snub-nosed or really blunted off. You're gonna notice that right away. You can rock it over the top too if you want to, because people are doing that again, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so with the ratchets, there's actually a bunch of play in these. You can feel that wiggle room. You can hear it clicking around. You do have a 1-finger quick release on the heel that does work well. They climb decent enough. The problem that I have is that the toe ratchet doesn't have that 1-finger quick release, so you're grabbing it from the front. Give it a little more extra pull and you'll be fine. Personally, I like my stuff to be uniform. If you're gonna put a 1-finger quick release tab on the heel, do it on the toe as well. At the end of the day, the ratchets, they work. They're not the best, they're not the worst. All right, we're somewhere through this review. I don't know where, but have you remembered to click like? What about subscribe and click the bell so you get those notifications, because you know you don't want to miss any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. This is a very, very soft Highback. You have a little more rigidity on the outside than you do on the inside, but when you push back into it, the most response is right where that forward lean block is. Otherwise, this thing just gets out of the way when you're tweaking with it, or if you're just buttering around. Like I said, not the most responsive thing out there. It's soft and playful, but for what you get with a unibody binding, this isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Still like it more than the joint from bent metal. That thing is soft. This is a very soft binding. It comes in below middle of the road, firmly planting itself in that jib category. Like I said, with the Highback, you get a ton of play. With the straps, there's still give. You do get a little more drive just from the outside where the ratchet is due to how much bigger it is. But this is a very soft binding, which is surprising because it does have a really big disc to it. So even with that, you get a ton of lateral play. When you drive into those straps, you just push right through it. This is a loose binding. If you're looking for performance, it's gonna feel very sloppy. If you're looking to jib and you want something that's gonna be very forgiving and allow you to do a lot of ankle movements, then it's not going to be an issue. With this being a soft binding, you would think that you're going to feel everything with it. And while you do notice that there's some chatter, this drive plate actually does a great job of providing the dampening you need. It's going to absorb that chatter, and if you want something that's a little more rigid or something that's just gonna sit different in there, you can actually swap these out. But overall, while this is a lively binding, you're not gonna get that jackhammer feeling underfoot because of this drive plate. So who is this binding for? It's for the jib kid or someone that's on a budget or someone that wants a soft, playful, and loose unibody constructed binding. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. So according to the catalog, they say that this is a middle of the road binding. It's not, they're lying to you. This is a very soft, playful binding. It's basically a softer action. Yeah, you get that uniform flex from the unibody construction of it, but you're gonna push through the straps. It's very playful. At times, I felt like I was struggling to control my board at speed in more choppy terrain because it just did not have that response from the straps that I wanted. Comparable bindings, the Union Ultra, the Salomon District, the Arbor Hemlock. This has been my review of the bent metal Anvil. If you like soft, loose, and playful bindings, but this isn't the one for you, why don't you go watch one of the reviews for one of the comparable bindings I just mentioned.